I'm gonna lead you through a warm-up. It's gonna take about 20 minutes. This is what we do in our team training. So just start with me. If you have space, you can use this jogging to jog around the room. I won't have a lot of space. I will jog more or less on one spot the whole time. We have some jogging. One thing you can already think about now is even when you're jogging, that you don't let your hip loose fall backwards, but you bring it forward underneath your body. For the shoulder work, think about as much as possible, keep the posture that you want to have in your dancing. So if this is the posture you want to have in your dancing, then you keep that while you're jogging. If you're happy with this one, you keep that. If you're happy with, we're not happy with this one. Let's go back to this. And we have our jogging. Now let's start with the twisting. Again, I'm going to stay very much in one spot because I don't have space. In your case, you would just run around the room more like this. Back to jogging, high heels, go for high heels. Again, tucking your hip under, not letting the hip fall back. Boom. Heels back. Heels up. Heels back. Now, sideways heels. I'm gonna switch, but you can go in a row. It's knee is what Katja's trying to tell me. It's sideways knee. I don't have space for you there. Here we go. Now, my favorite is the zombie walks. We're going to do this. This is a very good exercise because it really trains the ability to keep a strong core and posture while still doing something that is difficult to keep the posture. Typically this happens where the shoulder pops out of space. We want to try to keep them down while we're running around. Alright, let's go for ski hops. Boom. You could go in a circle around the room. I'm going to go back and forth. What's important here is to focus on the landing. Make sure your knees don't wobble. Negative, 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 positive, positive, positive. Another thing is if I go sideways, what typically happens is we put the mobility in our knees instead of mobility in our hips. So we want to let the hips sink, not the knee pop forward. Another thing is that we still want to keep hip and shoulder lines straight, negative to bend from the lower back. Keep the hip going, doing the moving part, and your upper body being stable. All right, let's go for some squats. Boom, boom. While you do go for this movement, make sure you sink with your hips, not with your knees. Keep your knees over your foot instead of having tilted inwards. Negative, positive. Boom, boom. Here, while you use your arms, make sure your shoulder blades are engaged so they stay back, so we don't pop. Negative with the shoulders. Keep that forward. All right. Now let's go for some squatting. We go down, we go up, always to a straight line. Down, up. As you go down, try to still, as much as you can, keep a straight line here while you go down. Boom, up, boom. Now, if you can, keep the knee over the toe. You can torque the knee outwards. This is okay. This is not as okay. Again, going all the way up to a straight hip, so we don't stop here without neutralizing the hip. This is something that we're going to use a lot in the dancing, talking about neutralizing the hip all the way forward in a athletic position where your hip is strongly under your shoulder, and we don't always get stuck here where the hip are outside of your shoulder line. Good. And continue now with, we're going to go down to a squat, bring left hand down, right hand up, opening up the torso, go down, opening up the torso, and up. I'm going to get some more movement ability here. There we go. Left, opening up, switch, opening up, and up, and down, opening up, and opening up, and up. All that, down, opening up, and up, down, opening up, and up. What's important here is when you open up, that you open from your shoulder, from your torso, not just from your hands. Negative, you want to open up from the torso while we go up. Last one, going down, open up from your torso, opening up from your torso, and up. Whew. Let's give the legs some break. Now, go for some mobility in your ankles. Other way around. Switch, going with this foot. Other way around, turning inwards. Now, let's warm up with going up and down, up and down 10 times. 3, 4. As you go up, tighten up your glutes as well, so they're right under your body. I'm going to go a little bit for better contrast. That's my count. Let's say that was set 8. This is 9. And this is 10. Going down. Now we're going to go a little bit more harder. 1 foot. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to hold for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And down. And then we're going to go 3 seconds slow. Everybody together. And 1, 2, 3. Hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And down. Now we're going to go and 1, 2, 3. Going down slowly in 3 seconds. And 1, 2, 3. One more time. And 1, 2, 3. Other foot. We're going to go 3 seconds up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was more than 4. And 1, 2, 3. And down. 1, 2, 3. And down. 1, 2, 3. Now gradually going down on the tree for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. You'll notice that sometimes one foot is not as stable as the other one. You have good stability on one foot than the other one. If you manage to train the weaker ones a little bit more, you get better base for your turns and movements in dancing. Let's go 5 seconds, but still gradually go down with 3 seconds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to go down slowly for 3 seconds. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 2 more. And 1, 2, 3. Last one. And 1, 2, 3. Other side. Five times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it for 5 seconds. 1, this is my weak foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. No, let's move on to just slowly down. I think we did one once. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last time. 1, 2, 3. If you want, you can repeat this more times. We're gonna move on. We're gonna go for going down, up, go down, up. What I want you to think about is pull your hip forward as you go down. So this is all a straight line. Boom. As we go. Here, keep your hips under your body, really looking for the stretch in your hip flexors and openers. So negative to bend here. Boom. Negative, positive. Open up. Advance. You would include your arms in it. Bring your arms to your ears. Make sure your shoulder blades are back as you go through this movement. So we don't fall into this position, but we keep that movement. I'm going to straighten up. Try to keep your hip, knee, and toe in one line. So negative to go here, negative to let your hip pop out, but try to keep everything in one line as you go. So hip, knee, toe in one line as you're going through this motion. One last time per foot, and we stop. Moving down, and so on. Alright. Let's work a little bit on our backs. Try to take a squat position. Fix your hip on one spot in space. And then we lift our lower back, drop. Lift, drop. The real focus here is to avoid hip going underneath you this time. We want to focus on the lower back muscles to make sure we squeeze the lower back muscles into each other. We want to have a little bit of this motion where your muscles go in and out. If you move your hip with it, you get more just this movement up and down motion, which is not the same thing. One last one, and down. Stop, relax. We're going to do this one more time. Take your hips in a strong position, but this time we're going to involve our arms as well. We're going to go up, we're going to bring your elbows back, rotate, shoot above, drop them down, and up, rotate, bring your elbows back, rotate, and up. The more you can keep your hips stable throughout the whole movement, the better support you have for your movement, for your training of the lower back muscles. One last time, and up, boom, boom, and up. All right, let's start going down. Actually, let's do some wrist movement, mobility, because we're going to use them now. Rolling a little bit, warming them up. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, he counts. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, give me an A. 5, 6, 7, 8, give me an L. 5, 6, 7, 8, give me an I. 4, 5, 6, just kidding. Okay. Now I'm going to go down into a plank position, squeeze the glutes, and then going back up. I'm going to turn around here so you see from another angle, going down into a plank position. Try to get your glutes in a straight line, we don't want to drop them, and then we go back up. We're going to go in this direction, see if we get a better image. We're going to go down into a glute, into a plank, shoulder blades on its spot. We don't want to drop here and back up. So try to keep this as steady as possible as you go through the movement. What typically happens is that we let our heads fall down. Because our heads are quite heavy, this typically happens and we start developing a not so nice posture for dancing. Going up. One more time. Going down. Keep your shoulder blades back so they don't fall to your ears. And up. Now, next level is to go to the side. We're going to go down, squeeze the glute, go to the side, try to align, if you want, you lift, and then come down and back again. And up. One more time. I'm going to turn away from you this time, straight hips, go to the side, make sure you lift the hips, bring your hands up. If you want, bring your legs up and keep the hips straight. And back, and then we go up again. At least 3 more per arm, per side. And up. What very easily happens is that we let our hips fall outwards. I'm going to go this way so you can see what I mean. What very often happens is this motion, where the hip is not aligned with our body. We're looking for this one as we do this motion. I'm going to show you one more time. And down, here, go to the side, straight hip, lift, and down, and up, and going down, straighten your hip, bring it forward in line, lift your arms, and up. Whew, last time, here we go. Start getting it warm up as we walk. Straight, up, sorry, and up. Boom, and down, and up, boom, and up. Alright. We're going to go for push-ups. For the push-ups, go for the, put your hands down, align your back muscles. I'm going to go further back. Align your back muscles, bring your hips in a straight line, so we don't want to be here, we don't want to be here. Bring it in a straight line. Now slowly go down and up. Try to have your hips being still in a straight line as you go down and up. Some modifiers. You can go on your knees, straighten your hips, go forward, go on your hips, straighten your knees, straighten your hips, go on your knees, and then we go slowly down. And if you want, crawl up. Okay, so don't think of it as a push-up. But what's important is that we straighten this line and it's not here. 2 more times. And down, and up. I'm going to do one last time like this, and down. You can walk up. One more time, this is also. And up. Alright. Last stretches. We're going to start getting more rotation in our shoulder blades. So we're going to take our right hand, go inside, going over our head, and in, over our head, in, over our head. Let's switch. Over the head, in, over the head, in. Last time. Over the head, in. This head. In, over the head, down. In, over the head, down. Last time. Over the head, down. Other way around. Over the head, down. Over the head, down. Over the head, down. Alright. Last one. Keep your hips stable as much as you can. Arms out. Reach forward. And then as much as possible, bend from your hips and not from your lower back. Then stretch up with your last torso opening. This is a full body stretch for me at least. Now here, try to open up with your torso just like we did before. Drop the down, hands down, other way around. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna repeat. Stay where you are. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop your hands one last time on this side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop your hands down and up. Before we switch, just make sure that when you go down, your shoulders doesn't fall forward and you don't lift with this. We're going to keep this intact. We're going to twist our chest to open up. Alright? Hips as much stable as possible. We're going to go forward and we're going to try to move from our hip instead of a lower back. So we try to go here, we go there, and we open up. Try to keep your shoulder blades back. And now switch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And come down. Come up. Roll your shoulders back a little bit. Bring your hips underneath yourself.